Hello guys, how you doing today? Welcome to OffCentered. We have a special guest again here with us, Sarah. I think she did a great job last day. But today, guys, we will be talking about. Marriage is not part of this actually. Just to let you know, marriage is not part of this. This is just more like boyfriend and girlfriend, couples, whatever. How can we still boost our honeymoon phase in a relationship? So pretty much, it's not like the first, the first week. It's kind of like where guys, they go all out for their woman. They do all the special stuff, and when they start getting comfortable in the relationship, and that's when they kind of like that part died out a little bit. That romance side died out a little bit. So how can you still boost it up? How can we still find ways to kind of like, spark things up a little bit? What do you guys think?
I think it's weird because I feel like it's important that you're constantly in the dating mode. It's constantly, for me, this is the way I think. This girl can literally leave anytime she wants, and she chooses to be with me every day. So I'm gonna pursue her like I'm still dating her, And for me, is keeping that in mind, and making sure not even that too. I think at times romance is sometimes the heartbeat of the relationship because it makes it interesting. It keeps things on. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it gives life color. And I think that the way to not. I'm not gonna say the way to not make her leave, but I think you should always continue to pursue her the way, in the very first time you met her, or the very first time you guys went on a date or something like that. So.
I really agree with Micky on that. I think that when you first start dating, the guy and the girl too, for that matter, but you're both trying to win each other over. You're both trying to win each other's hearts and woo each other and sweep each other off your feet and all that kind of stuff. And why stop that? I mean, like Micky said, either one of you can leave, and if you're not feeling it anymore, that's what's going to happen. And so you should look for ways to, anything that you do in the beginning, and whether it's, I don't know, spending money buying flowers, or just, a foot massage, or just simple things that don't even cost money. I mean, but girls, just make them feel special. Like
you want to feel special, huh?
Too. Yeah, I mean, make them feel like you want. What I mean is like make them feel, remind them that you want them, and figure out ways, even if it's just saying it, even if it's just words. Remind them every day how much you want them, that you're glad that they're in your life, that you're glad you're still choosing me. And because if you start to not feel that way anymore, even if it's just because you're not saying it or expressing it, that's how the other person's going to end up feeling, and then your relationship starts to kind of,
All right. This is actually like a real question. Okay. When we're talking about the honeymoon phase of like dating and stuff, are we associating it with feelings, or are we associating it with actions? Because
both.
Because here's the thing, the action part of it, I'm totally with, extending and doing, because you should, The feeling part of it, honestly, I don't know why you want to extend it. I just don't get it. Because the thing is, I feel like, kind of like Sarah said, that's the point where you're trying to win each other over. Like, I'm not saying people are fake, and I'm not saying all that stuff, right? But you do start finding out more about people once they settle down, once they actually okay, so we're doing this, Like, I feel like I would not want to extend that, butterfly feeling and all that. Like,
you want to know the real them?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, man, I also think that if we're being real with ourselves, the people I think that it just happens naturally. I don't think that you need to extend anything. Micky extended his because that's just who he is. If you're not, I'm being real with you. No, I'm being real with you. You feel me?
Yeah, I know what you
mean. I'm being real with you. If you're not extending it, that's just a telltale of the type of person you are. You're like, I'm good now. You feel me? I don't need to keep working hard. I don't need to keep doing that. That just says something about you. At the end of the day, man, I feel like the honeymoon phase is to me is just, you know, like it's just a part where you guys are not comfortable enough to be like to you know, to truly show the other person what you're about, you know?
I got you.
So to me, I have no desire to extend it whatsoever. Like, you know what I mean? Like now, wedding honeymoon, that's different. Wedding honeymoon, that's a completely different story. But
I know what you mean.
Chris?
When I think of the honeymoon phase, I think of like that beginning stage where like you're always happy when you're with that person. Like all you see is like rainbows. Whatever.
The unicorn or something.
Yeah, you see all of that stuff, but to me, like that stuff should come naturally. And like for you to actively go and try to salvage that, I feel like that's only gonna crash and burn at some point. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've been in a situation like that myself, and I don't want to bring him into this, but my baby's father, I tried.
Your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Say it, your baby daddy.
I tried hard to make it work, even when I felt like it wasn't, and because I thought that was the right thing to do, especially after having a child and everything. I thought, we need to. But it just wasn't, and then it was kind of like I had an epiphany one day, and I was like, you know what? This, like you said, it's not coming naturally. I don't want this. Like, I'm not feeling good about this. Like, this isn't like the little, I would do picnics and stuff like that, and just silly little things like that. But just so that we could spend time together and all those kind of things. And it just didn't feel
organic
happy anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I want to do this. It felt like I had to salvage the relationship. And I think that if that's how it is, then no, it is a dead end.
No, I was gonna say, I think that when you first got hired in a job, right? You obviously you see that a lot, and I was that person too. I go all out. I go 110, 100, 300 miles, and I was just like, I was a jet. Boy, I was doing everything. I was helping everybody. They're like, hey, Melvin, there's a fire that's burning down in that building. I'll just take the hose. I'll find something to do. Just to kind of like show the manager, show the people that, like, you know what, I'm all in for this. I'm all in this business, And I feel like it shouldn't happen like that. It should just be like, it should be something organic. Something like, okay, this is a job. I'm gonna do the best I can. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try my best. So just like in a relationship, you also have to do the same thing too. You can't just be like, in the first week, I'm gonna go all in for this person just to prove this person that I'm just to kind of like to tell that person, hey, I'm trying to show how much I like you and everything, and trying to show that, hey, that's how much I love you, and trying to win this person. It's not supposed to be like that. It should be a natural feel. It should be something that it's something in you that you have that be like, you know what, I care about this person. I'm gonna do the best I can to kind of like show, hey, I'm gonna do the best I can. Be like, because it's already in me. So I'm gonna win her just because going 110, just being myself. You know what I mean? And being myself is me being a gentleman and being a classy man and just me opening the doors, doing some romantic stuff with her. Good. And I'm gonna keep extending that. I'm not gonna lose that in me because that's who I am. So it's never gonna fade out, and stuff like that. So.
And it's funny because Marvin Gaye said, don't play around with something you should cherish. So love is such a delicate thing, and for me, it's just like the sad thing is when we are introduced to it, we introduce our representative. We when they see us, they see our representative. They see the person that we want to be, but we're too lazy to be. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is instead of giving them a nice constant frequency, we give them a high frequency that we can't keep up. So, and also, I also do believe the first week, the first month, whatever, right, is also, it's not assigned with any form of responsibility, with any form of feelings, with any form of trauma. It's just like, oh man, she's not.
My fault.
She's not expecting me to be, like she's not already saying, hey, this is hurting me, because she's enjoying the ride. As soon as feelings are becoming one and responsibility are intertwining and the expectations are intertwining, then it's just like.
And that's what I was talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because those feelings, bro, they mute things. Like you'll have a guy, right?
Yeah.
You'll have a guy, right? He's good in every way. But then, like, I don't know, like when he chews gum, he smacks it like nobody's business, right? And that first week, that first month, you're fine. You're like, whatever. You feel me? It's all flowers and rainbows right now. But then, all of a sudden, that second month, it starts echoing in your ear. And you're like, what?
Do I want to hear this for the rest
That's
of my life?
what I'm saying. You're like, yo, this is way louder than I thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, like that's, to me, I'm like, no, like, I like those that was down. Like, you know, like, I just feel like, and also I think you're giving people too much credit because a lot of people, they don't even go past their limits. They're just like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum and that's good. And then when I get there, I'm gonna do nothing. Like they don't. So I think that it's just, bro. I really think that. Don't get me wrong, man. I know that sometimes it sounds conceited to be like, yo, go work on yourself. But everybody has to like. Everybody, obviously including us. We have a lot of things that we can improve on, a lot of things to work on. I think that's just something you should improve about yourself. If you're in a situation where you feel like every time, you know, that month period goes by, that 2 month or that year period goes by, you feel like, oh man, like, yeah, I feel like that's something you should improve about yourself because at the end of the day, man, like, you can only, like, your feelings are your own. You know what I mean? So, this should not always reflect your actions because even if, like, let's say you're mad that day, right? Let's say you're mad that day. You don't go to your friends and be like, no, don't talk to me, I'm mad. Like, you feel me? Like, so your feelings should not always reflect your actions, and because of that, you should be able to do for somebody what you did on the first day for them, what you do on the last day. You know?
But the only thing I would advise people is keep a constant frequency. Don't go too high. Don't go too. I'm not saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and also, the most romantic thing a man can do or a woman can do is work on himself. Because when you work on yourself, right, then you can provide people with the love. Because then you become love, and you can give people love, right? The problem is people are not working on themselves. They're looking for someone to save them. They think that, oh, this person's gonna add to me. Love is educational. We should be educating each other, right? And we should be open to change. We should be open to growth. And I think I feel like someone who is adaptive and someone who wants to grow, that's the best person that you can be with, because in the end of the day, they want to be the best that they can be, and I hopefully you want to be the best that you can be, and it becomes selfless, and I think that's what I would push. You know,
this is probably the last thing I'm gonna say. I think that people, first of all, they shouldn't confuse the honeymoon like whatever is for love. Like, you feel me? Because it's not. Like, everyone likes getting new stuff. It doesn't matter if it's new people. It doesn't matter if it's new, like, objects. You like new stuff. New stuff makes you feel nice. You feel me? Right. So, like, you know, it's kind of like a child with a toy, right? They have a toy. They get a new toy and they play with it like for like a week straight. They never put it down. But then they actually have a toy that they love, you know, that once that new feeling gets over, that toy goes in the bin and you probably never see it again, and then they go back to the toy that they actually love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what, like, people really shouldn't confuse that with love, because it's not. Like, you know.
Like I was gonna say, I think, like, don't get me wrong, guys. I feel like this is the honeymoon phase is not like something that when it's not like you're supposed to take your girl to like to go to Paris or something like that, the city of love or something like that every once in a like month. It's not like that. I feel like if
you got it like that, then it is.
Yeah, if you got it like that, then that's
your pocket is that deep.
That's like, what I'm trying to say, keep that same energy. Just, you know, keep that same energy. Be consistent in who you are, showing who you are.
That's what I was gonna say.
So it's like
consistency for me is huge. I mean, I hate to keep talking about my ex, but I just like, you know, I like to go off of personal experience.
The comments gonna be like, get over it.
I really don't go talking back
like
all the time. But it's just personal experience. So, but like for me, he, when we first started dating, it was like the next month after we had, you know, dating, he sent me this huge, beautiful bouquet of flowers.
Ooh, okay.
And never sent me flowers again. Not for my birthday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, nothing. And that's okay. I mean, it's not about the flowers. It's about the principle of the thing. Like, if you're not gonna send me flowers ever again, you probably shouldn't send them to me when we first start dating. Don't make me think that I'm actually gonna send flowers.
This what I'm saying.
Valentine's
This what I'm
Day.
saying. Keep
God
them
forbid.
frequency consistent.
Keep that
Don't
same
go
energy.
too high.
If you open the door the first date,
Exactly. And
make sure you open the door the second date,
I
and
really
throughout
wanna
till your
stress-
marriage.
I really want to
you
stress
know what I
that
mean?
it's not about material things.
Right.
That's not my point. It's just that that's the kind of person he was making me, or trying to lead me to believe that he was, and he just wasn't anything like that.
Wow, I feel like this is a fire, man. I feel like your ex probably gonna be watching this like.
Sorry, it is what it is.
I
He
talk
knows
about
the
mine on that too, so it's all good.
Nah, but for real though, hey, like seriously, like we like to advertise ourselves a little bit higher than we are.
Yeah.
I think that relationships is probably not the best place to do it. Job interview, go nuts. Like, you feel me? Like stuff like that, yeah, go all the way.
I
But,
almost say go all the way in job interview. I mean, not job interview. Yeah, I get you. I understand what
So-
you mean.
so-
Not when you get the job. Not when you
okay,
get the
so
job.
when you go when
No, I was thinking about-
when you go apply to McDonald's, right? You should be like, I've always wanted to work at you've always dreamed of working at McDonald's, right? You always gonna be like, no, you're gonna go there and you're not gonna be like, yeah, I'm here because I'm broke. Like, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna be like, yo, hey, McDonald's is my favorite food ever, even though it gives me like the worst indigestion. I'm not gonna tell you that, right? Yeah, I've always dreamed of working there ever since I saw that nice Spanish lady the other day. Like, yeah, you're gonna go nuts.
Yeah, no,
but that's not what you should do in a relationship.
I thought you
'cause-
said that. My bad, because that was my fault in that. I thought you said that. You said job interview, but I thought you said when you actually working, you should go all the way out. I feel like that's too much. I feel
Yeah,
like.
no, I
'Cause
feel you.
there's certain part when you're like, whoa, this person is a great worker, and then later, then you start seeing this person start dying out because he's put so much into that
I
place,
feel you.
invest in that place. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
you.
And he's like, hey, what happened to that? He's like, well, the money ain't good no more. You know, or the money is not the same. It's like, but you should just keep that. I mean, I'm not saying keep that same energy, but you should never have showed that in the first place. Because now you put certain,
Yeah, it's the same
criteria
thing with
in.
relationships.
And I think also, this is probably the last thing I'm gonna say, right? And relationship shouldn't be a prize that you should want to attain. It's not a prize. It's the thing is that a lot of men and women, they're like, okay, let me go try and get this. As soon as I get it, I got the prize, and there's no, I can just put that prize on a shelf, and I don't have to do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. It's constantly work. You know what I'm saying?
It's more like a flower.
Yeah,
like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? You gotta keep watering the flower. You gotta keep like
Nurturing it,
butterflies.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not only that, too, if you're asking someone to go on a journey with you, you gotta make sure that they're taken care of. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure that, you know, the living situation is well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna ask someone to go somewhere with me, but I'm like, be like, okay, now you're on your own. You know, it's not like that, right? It shouldn't be like, it should be something that you, like I said, it shouldn't be something that you constantly cultivate. And like I said, if I know it's hard to not, it's hard to not, like you said, be your representative at times when you're in these dating situations. But if you can really be yourself and be honest with that person in the beginning, it will save you so much trouble. Because in the end of the day, that person will know who they're getting from day one, and that will set the tone. Right?
Like, I know we're going like kind of on a tangent, right? I just want to
It's
say one
off-center.
thing.
Who cares? It's
Like,
off-center,
you
guys.
right, you
It's
right.
off-center. Let's do
You're
it.
right. You're right, bro. But I'm just saying though, like, you know, instead of being a representative, why don't you just like, you know, not be. Here's the thing. That's what I was talking about in the other video about not being too honest. You don't have to tell, like, on the first date, you don't have to say everything about yourself.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, how about instead of not being your representative, right? Like, you know, saying that, like, that would be like me going to a date and saying I drive a McLaren, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my Buick is outside. You feel me? Like, why would you need to do that?
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, I could be like, I drive a Buick. But I don't need to tell her that the Buick breaks down every 3 months. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because like people don't understand. Like, I just think that like sometimes people kind of get excused where they're like, okay, well, if you're asking me not to be a representative, that means I need to be completely honest.
Right.
Like, you can't be completely like, you should be honest, but like, yeah, you should save that honesty for stages.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, stages. You don't wanna hide things or like leave out stuff because you're trying to hide who you really are.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you don't want to like lay it all out there and freak them, scare them off either.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you know you need a ride somewhere, like if you want to go on a date and you're like, my car's broke down, and you don't want to tell them that your car is broke down, so you lie and say that, you know, whatever, someone's using it or whatever. You don't want to do that. But you don't have to like tell them, you know, yeah, my car breaks down every 3 months, like you were saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said,
I picked up my fiance now with a broke down van, but I wanted her to see that because I wanted to see that. Look, she's not investing when she's with me. Like I said, I picked her up on our first date in a broke down van, right? And it was broke down, literally, right? But the difference is when she got to know me, she know I was rich, not on materialistic things, but on the way I think. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, but literally, really on wisdom, on virtues, on things that matter. I'm not selling her a false dream. I'm not selling her these materialistic. I'm selling her me. You know what I'm saying? And then for me, that's the most. That's the best thing. That
last thing I would say, guys, first impression does mean a lot. You know, I mean, it's good to treat somebody out in the first date, whatever. But you know, just like what Steve says, but it's stages. You know, just like stages, honeymoon, anniversary, you know, stuff like that. Just birthdays. You know, just treat a person out. Just make sure you keep that same energy, you know, stuff like that. So it's truly important. Just be consistent, and that's it.
All right, we're running out of time, guys. So thank you for watching OffCentered. Please hit the like button and subscribe. All right.
To our channel. All right. Thank you.